I found this story where it shouldn't have been, and once you hear it, it doesn't let go.
This story is called The Pale King, and it's not just about a monster in the ice. It's about what happens when something buried too deep for time begins to dream again. Written by Mr. D if you're into slow burn horror, ancient creatures, and stories that don't just scare you, they watch you. Hit like, subscribe, and keep your eyes open because it doesn't like to be ignored. Let's begin. In 2014, a multinational deep drill team uncovered a glacial anomaly in the northernmost stretch of the Arctic Circle, colder than the rest, but warm beneath the surface. The ice was shifting, breathing. The reading came from 3.6 miles below sea level under bedrock, under fossil layers that shouldn't even exist. A cavity sealed in solid ice, perfectly round. Not formed by tectonics or time, but by design. A team was dispatched: geologists, glaciologists, a linguist, and Dr. Rourke, our lead paleobiologist, and my boss. The moment we entered the ice shaft, we knew this wasn't a cave. It was a chamber. Smooth walls, frost-covered, but not natural. There were patterns etched into the ice deep, symmetrical grooves like vertebrae or claw marks. And in the center, frozen in perfect preservation, was the thing, pale as bone, at least 14 feet long, reptilian, but with proportions that made no evolutionary sense. Arms too long, skull elongated like a crown, teeth like daggers, and its eyes, white, not blind, but waiting. I remember what Dr. Rourke whispered. When he first saw it, "This isn't a fossil," he said. "It's a warning." But we brought it back anyway, cut it free from the chamber, inch by inch, transported it to Outpost Vega, our deep lab base 200 miles from the excavation. They kept it in cryo suspension. We cataloged its features, ran DNA checks, but it didn't match any known lineage, not reptilian, not mammalian, not even microbial. It was other, and then it got worse. On day 3, the ice started melting. We checked the containment. Everything was locked, but the internal temperature kept rising, like it was warming itself. On day 4, a tech named John went missing. Found his boots by the airlock, but no signs of forced exit, just drag marks and frozen blood leading into a duct he couldn't have fit through. Security footage corrupted. Power flickering every hour on the dot, and day 5, that was when it moved. Only a fraction a night, which, one digit curling, but we saw it. We all saw it. Then came the sounds, not growls, not breathing, words, whispered in perfect English, spoken in Rourke's voice, coming from the speakers, even when they were off. The linguist, Harper, broke first. Started writing symbols on the walls with her own blood, saying the creature was speaking to her through dreams. "It's not here to kill us," she said. "It's here to show us what we used to be." We sedated her, locked her up, but she just smiled, even unconscious, and every night after that we heard it, scratching, pacing, whispering to us in our own voices. It wasn't learning how to speak. It was remembering us, remembering the worship to be continued. We should have left the base, burned it, buried it, erased the coordinates, but we didn't, because by day 6, it wasn't just fear that kept us here. It was devotion. Something had shifted, not in the air, but in us. Rourke stopped talking altogether, just stood outside the containment chamber, palms against the glass, whispering in some broken tongue none of us had ever heard. Harper was gone, physically still there, yes, sedated, strapped to her cot, but mentally. She was somewhere else. She muttered phrases like returning to the coil and cold light beneath the roots. Her heartbeat was irregular, but steady, like it was syncing with something deeper and the thing in the chamber. It had fully thawed, no breathing, no twitching, just waiting. Eyes open, focused, patient, like a king sitting on a throne of ice, judging the insects who dared to disturb it, and it judged us worthy. That's the part that made us stop fighting, because the fear faded, replaced with this warmth, like it had reached into us and flipped a switch. One by one, we stopped locking. The chamber, we stopped tracking its movement. We stopped questioning why our own dreams were beginning to match why we were all seeing the same white corridor, the same spiral staircase of bone, the same pulsing star buried under frost. We started seeing each other differently too, like reflections of the same thing, mirrored through time. It wasn't just intelligent, it was aware of us, inside and out, and it had been here before. Buried not by time, but by betrayal, we were remembering a god we had turned our backs on. Day 8. It stood up, just once. No alarms, no sound. It rose, bones creaking like frozen branches, and placed its hand against the glass. No force, no violence, just presence, and Rourke fell to his knees. He whispered, "We're not studying it anymore. We're serving it." Then others followed, even the guards. No orders, no panic. They knelt, and I didn't stop them. I felt it too. Something old inside my blood stirred like a voice I'd forgotten, and it felt like home. When I woke the next day, the chamber was empty. No broken glass, no signs of escape, just a smear of frost. Across the floor in the shape of a spiral, Rourke was gone, Harper too, their rooms left spotless. Only one thing remained on the walls, drawn in blood or maybe something else, just a phrase. We remembered him. I was the last. The base has gone dark now. No transmissions, no clocks, no sun. I don't even know if I'm still in the same place, or if he's already taken us somewhere else. The funny part? I'm not scared anymore. I understand now. That thing in the ice wasn't a monster. It was what came before monsters, before gods, before time. It doesn't feed on flesh. It feeds on recognition. It needs to be known again, and I think it's using me to do it. My voice, my words. When you hear this, if you hear this, it means he's awake. He's in this story now, in your thoughts, in your memory. And that's all he ever needed. You don't worship the Pale King with prayers. You worship him by remembering he was real, and now you do.